This is a very serious mistake you're making. You cannot just drink water by sitting on malasana, garland pose. This way again you are confusing your brain. Your brain is thinking that for traveling, for making that water travel through thoroughly in your body, I need a space. But by sitting on malasana in garland pose, you are creating obstruction on its track. So you're confusing your brain. Your brain will get disturbed. Your digestion, your everything will get disturbed. So if you are really bothered that you should have a proper intake of water, just sit, or even in a standing position you can have proper water, and make garland pose, that malasana, the sitting posture, a part of your regular workout. Work on this posture on regular basis. By regular practicing, it will naturally support your body, and it will give all the benefits to your body. Why you are just drinking water by sitting on malasana and confusing your body and damaging your body from within? So please, if you're doing it, stop it. It is not going to benefit you. Okay, so back to thunderbolt pose. So when you sit like this, plantar flexion, it will help you to manage your body weight, digestive system. Okay, make your ankles stronger, helps your ankles to hold its body weight. But for some people it won't be easy to sit on thunderbolt pose instantly. Like your ankle will start paining. Some people, if they have weak ankle joints and they are not able to hold thunderbolt pose by sitting on this posture like this, then what how they should do it? So for that, what you have to do, you have to go to the cat pose like this. And you know that when you are shifting your body weight on thunderbolt, it is paining. So what you can do, first you go to the cat pose, slowly place your hip on your ankles, and then check if your ankle area is paining. If it is paining, then check if you can handle that pain. If you can handle that pain, then slowly pull your palms towards your body and uplift your upper part of your body and shift more weight on your ankles. Then when you become apt in holding your body weight on your ankles, then slowly decrease this gap, slowly come on your fingertip, and slowly place your hand palms on your thigh and shift your whole body weight on your ankles, and check if you can do that. This way you will be able to do thunderbolt pose even if your ankles are paining. So if your ankles pain, first go to the cat pose, just shift partial weight on your ankles, and then slowly on regular practice start shifting more weight on your ankles, and then a day will come, yeah, when you will be able to sit on thunderbolt pose. Okay, now the next one. This is the counter asana for thunderbolt pose. I call it lifted thunderbolt pose. I don't know if other people also call it the same, but I call it the lifted thunderbolt. This is lifted thunderbolt pose. When you stretch your toes in and your body gets lifted up 3 to 4 inch, this is called lifted thunderbolt. You have to sit like this. Okay. What are the benefits of lifted thunderbolt? Just few minutes back, I told you about outward stretch, that is called plantar flexion. Just opposite to it, it is called when you stretch your toes towards your body, that is called dorsiflexion. Even in my previous videos, I have described plantar flexion and dorsiflexion in detailing. I've also designed sun salutation for plantar flexion and dorsiflexion. For plantar flexion, sun salutation for muscles. For dorsiflexion, sun salutation for joints. If you want to work on plantar flexion and and dorsiflexion, learn those sun salutations and get benefit of it. Okay, so when you push your toe in, that is called dorsiflexion. Okay, what are the benefits of dorsiflexion? See, dorsiflexion helps your bone and joints to work properly. When you take a jump and you go off the floor against the gravity, that is because of the plantar flexion. But when you land on the floor, that smooth landing is performed with good dorsiflexion. If you have a good dorsiflexion, and you jump back to the floor, when you land on the floor, that landing will be smoother. So when you are walking downstairs, when you are walking on downward slope, when you are doing weight training and you are placing weight back to the ground, that smooth movement is handled by dorsiflexion. So when you perform plantar flexion, your muscles, your bones and joints all work together. But when you are on dorsiflexion, your joints and bones take more responsibility for your body management, body movement. Okay, so this is if you and 10 to 20 degree stretch in dorsiflexion is more than enough. So if your toe is vertical, if your foot is vertical, just stretch 10 and 20, more than enough. If you can stretch your toe in 10 to 20 degree, this is enough dorsiflexion. Poor dorsiflexion can cause knee valgus. Knee valgus, when your knees bend inward when you stretch your leg straight. So knee valgus is not good, and it may, and if you have flat feet, even for that you can work on dorsiflexion. It will help you to get rid of flat feet. Okay, so when you sit on lifted thunderbolt, so it helps your body to make its bones and joints stronger and come into the rhythm. Except that you have tibia, talus, and fibula. These three bones, when wherever they join one another, that junction is called ankle joint. So tibia, talus, and fibula also get stronger. Calcaneal bone, that also gets stronger on your heel. Okay, so when you sit on lifted thunderbolt, weight comes on your toes. It improves your dorsiflexion, and the weight is moving towards. Why? Because when you were sitting on thunderbolt, your shin bone was parallel, but here it is bit diagonal, so the weight is moving towards your knee joints. It is good for your knee joints also. However, if you have knee pain, ankle pain, consult to the doctor. If doctor allows, then you can sit on lifted thunderbolt. Otherwise, avoid both thunderbolt and lifted thunderbolt, both poses. Okay, so this is thunderbolt. Here, thunderbolt, lifted thunderbolt is more beneficial for joint disorder. Okay. However, to some extent, it also helps in digestion, but it's more focuses on benefiting your bones and your joints. Okay. Now, this is thunderbolt. This is lifted thunderbolt. Okay. When you stretch your toes out in thunderbolt, that is its more focuses on muscles and digestion. When you stretch your toes in and lift your body up on lifted thunderbolt, its more focuses on bones and joints. So if you have osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, it is good for those people. Okay, so this is the way you can perform thunderbolt pose and lifted thunderbolt. Now, the same thing. If you feel like no, you cannot directly sit on lifted thunderbolt, your ankles are paining. The same thing you have to apply. The same process you have to apply as you applied on thunderbolt pose. Go to the cat pose. But here, in cat pose, you have already stretched your toes in. Slowly shift some of your body weight on your heel, then slowly try to shift more weight on your heel by regular practice. It may take 2 3 days, it may take 1 2 weeks, or it may take 1 or 2 months, but not to worry, follow the process. Then slowly try to shift more and more weight, and then sit on our lifted thunderbolt. Head should be straight in perfect alignment with your spine. Spine should be engaged but not unwantedly stiff. Roll your shoulders so that your shoulders can be relaxed and sit like this. Okay. Now I show you how your feet should be properly joined together in both thunderbolt pose and lifted thunderbolt. Okay, now I show you how your feet should be adjusted when you're performing thunderbolt and lifted thunderbolt. See, first place your knees on the floor, stretch your toes out, make sure that your toes should not overlap each other like this, but should be slightly, you can keep slight gap between your big toes, but if you touch them, that is also okay. Then stretch your ankles out, make a hollow for your pelvic floor, make a hollow. This is the way. And then slowly place your pelvic floor, slowly place your pelvic floor and sit like this. So this is the way it should look like. Proper gap between your heel, properly toes properly touch, and pelvic floor is properly stretched. Sit there and you can also shake your lower back so that you can adjust your joints properly. Okay, so this is the way you have to keep your toes on thunderbolt pose, and then stretch your toes in, keep some gap between your toes, and slowly sit on your heel. This is the way you have to sit on lifted thunderbolt. You can keep some gap between your feet so that you can adjust your hip muscles, your pelvic floor properly. Okay, so this is the way lifted thunderbolt should be performed. So today I showed you few asanas. These are very basic asanas. I call them baby asanas. Please practice these asanas at home and get maximum benefits of it. Keep precautions in your mind, keep doctor's suggestion in your mind. If doctor allows, practice them, follow proper process. If doctor says no, please wait by the time you get green flag from the doctor and then practice yoga. Okay, and now let me tell you that if you want to conduct classes in your office, in your schools, in your society, or you are in any corner of the world, you can contact me. I'm ready to take a workshop with you. If you are above the age of 8 and you are below the age of 80, I can help you out. If you want some personal suggestions, even for that I'm ready. So you can contact me on my number, that is 7738279810. I repeat it, 7738279810. And I also have an alternative number, that is 9806322273. I repeat it, 9806322273. So you can contact me. Any kind of workshop you want to conduct, workshop for working professionals, housemakers, and for ladies, pregnant ladies, for children, for a student, whatever you want, I can work on that. I can make a course for them, and I can take a workshop or classes with them. I'm ready for that. Except that if you want to learn yoga and you know Hindi, then I have another channel, that is Yoga with Pradeep Singh in Hindi. You can go and subscribe that channel and watch my videos in that channel also, if you're watching it from India and you know Hindi. Okay, so this is done for the day. I'll be back with some new asanas and we'll practice those asanas. We'll learn more about yoga. Thank you.